Which is my best side director.
Face that wall.
I'd much rather do it this way. We're here to make a little braising sauce, and then we're going to take the braising sauce and we're going to braise some vegetables in it. And it's something that we use with our sea palm strudel, can be, but this one is really being used for our sea palm with peanut curry sauce. This braising sauce, we've been using it pretty much the same way since the 90s, is an excellent way of avoiding sautéing in oil. So we braise instead. We no longer even use a little bit of toasted sesame oil because we now are toasting our sesame seeds and combining them in our sauce to give the same flavor, but it's more whole foods.
Let's put everything in the pot. We're gonna start with ginger, and we're gonna add that to boiling water. Additionally to boiling water, we're gonna add turmeric, garlic, red pepper flakes if you want it a little spicy, some gluten-free tamari, and we're gonna put in toasted sesame seeds instead of toasted sesame oil. All right, ginger going in the pot. We've got about 5 cups of water that's coming to a simmer here. Next, we're gonna add in turmeric. It's about a teaspoon. 2 cloves of minced garlic, or just rough chopped is fine. Now the optional red chili flake, don't do too much, maybe like a 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon. A cup of gluten-free tamari. And if you don't like it too salty, just start with about 3/4 of a cup and then go up to your salty level required or desired. Next, we're gonna add in some toasted sesame seeds. We toasted them in a 350-degree oven for about 10 minutes.
You'll smell them getting a little smoky, and then that's the time to pull them.
And last, we're gonna add in some brown rice syrup. This is also an ingredient that you don't have to add, but it adds a little bit of sweetness, and it really brings together the sauce. Give it a stir or whisk, and let it come to a simmer. Then you want that to simmer for about 15 minutes until all the flavors have gotten into the water. Now we're at a good simmering point. We're gonna let it simmer for about 15 minutes so that all the flavor of the ginger and garlic get into the sauce. The longer you let it simmer, the more flavor is gonna get in there. But don't leave it on there too long or it might get a little bitter.
It's a strange range. Best audience ever.
Yep.
God, it needs a lot more ginger.
A little more sweet rice syrup.
Sweetness, yeah.
We're gonna put a little more sweet brown rice syrup in there.
Yeah.
A little more brown rice syrup going in. So we're putting about 3 tablespoons of brown rice syrup total to 5 cups of water and about 1 cup of tamari. If you let it simmer for about 15 minutes, then you're gonna get more of that ginger flavor coming through. Let's taste it one more time.
The sweetness is there. 15 more minutes will do. The ginger is coming through. The sweetness is just about right. The saltiness is right. It could deal with a little bit more pepper, so I'm going to put a pinch of pepper in.
It's been about 15 minutes.
Notice these fingers are shorter. I cut them off in a saw.
So now we're going to strain the liquid into our bowl and then use some of that liquid to braise the vegetables. You don't want to throw the vegetables into the pot because it's going to get coated with the weird sesame seeds and it's going to be too much liquid. So we're going to strain it out and then measure out how much we need. For the braising vegetables, we're going to use an array of different vegetables, starting with some mushrooms. And today we used cremini mushrooms, but you could also use shiitake or any kind of wild mushroom that you might see at your farmer's market or at the store. We also used some sugar snap peas. Snow peas would be okay, even green beans, fava beans maybe, whatever you have in your garden. Again, whatever's fresh. Then we're going to use some carrots. Today we're using just a regular juicing carrot. My favorite carrots are Nantes carrots, so look for those. They're really sweet and great. We're also going to use some cabbage for color. Today we're using purple cabbage, but you could also use green cabbage or Savoy cabbage. We're also going to use some zucchini. Summer squash would do too, or even something like butternut squash. We also use bell pepper. Today we use red bell pepper, but any bell pepper would work. Green bell pepper, orange, maybe even a little jalapeno would be great.
So we're going to add greens. And you always do it last, of course, because they're tender and they cook very quickly.
You could also do just braised greens, and sometimes I have that for breakfast. It's really great.
So if you really want to know what I do at home, is that I buy those super greens at Costco because they're very inexpensive. Throw a little of the sauce in, the braising sauce in the bottom of the pan. Flip the stuff around very quickly, and that just makes a great meal even for breakfast.
So I'm going to put 3/4 of a cup of liquid into a pan and bring it to a simmer. Now this liquid's already pretty hot, so it's not going to take a long time. As soon as it comes to a simmer, I'm going to put in a couple handfuls of veggies. It's okay if the liquid doesn't cover the veggies, and then after 2 to 3 minutes of braising them, we're going to throw in the greens last because they only take about a minute. I've prepared some veggies, I put them in a bowl, mixed them around, and I'm going to take a big handful, actually it's more like 2 handfuls, put it in there, make sure there's enough mushrooms. You could also use cauliflower or broccoli in this.
Or onion.
I think we need a little bit more sauce. We've been simmering these vegetables for about 3 minutes. Now we're gonna put in the greens for the last minute of the cooking and we'll just wilt them. So I'm gonna throw them in, turn off the heat, and then just give them a stir. And you can see that was the perfect amount of liquid because there's just a little bit left on the bottom, enough to toss these greens in. But you don't want to get too much liquid in there either. It's looking really good. Now we're just going to test a piece and see if it's cooked all the way through.
It's fine.
So we're going to get this in a bowl, put the greens down, and then put some veggies on top. And if you want, you can take some of that remaining liquid and ladle it over the top. It's really good served over brown rice or quinoa, or even just alone like this is perfect.
This is Sophie Hale Brown from Portland. She goes to school at university, or actually college. I don't know the difference, actually I do, at Beloit College in Wisconsin. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Shall you help us try the braised vegetables with hot pepper and ginger?
Let's give it a try.
Yes. Ooh, I got greens.
Delicious. You can taste the ginger. It's really coming through. All the flavors are really nice, really well balanced.
And we're done for the day. So please like this video.
Subscribe to our channel.
And bye.